This story is all about Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time, there was a king and queen who had no children for many years, which is the reason for their sadness. One day, the queen announced that she was pregnant. In their happiness, they had a grand celebration on the day of her birth to the baby. All of the fairies in the kingdom were invited, but the king had forgotten to invite the old fairy. She came to the celebration but was very angry. When it was the time for the fairies to give their special wishes to the baby, they blessed the baby and gave her beautiful gifts. When it was the old fairy's turn, she said,
"When the baby turns 16, she will touch a spindle and die."
The king and queen were shocked at what they heard and begged the fairy to take her words back, but the fairy refused to do so. The other fairies told the king and queen that they cannot undo what the old fairy said, but they could make it different. The fairy said that the baby will touch a spindle when she turns 16, but she will not die. She will fall into a deep sleep for a long time. They told the king and the queen that a prince will come to wake her up. The king and the queen forbade any spinning of the spindle in the kingdom, so that the princess will not touch a spindle. The princess grew to be kind. When she turned 16 years old, she wandered in the woods and saw an old lady spinning the spindle.
"What is this? May I try this?"
She asked the old lady. The old lady said, "Of course, my dear." The moment she touched the spindle, she fell on the floor and was completely placed under a sleeping spell. The old lady took the princess back to the king and queen, and they laid her on her bed. The good fairies casted a spell over the whole kingdom so that when the princess wakes up after a long time, she would not be alone in the palace. 100 years passed. There came a prince from a far-off land. He, along with his servants, went into the deep forest and came across the sleeping kingdom. He was amazed to see all the guards, servants, and animals sleeping peacefully. The prince went around the palace, and when he saw the beautiful princess, he kissed her. The princess woke up from the sleeping spell, and so did the whole kingdom. The prince and princess fell in love and had a royal wedding, and they lived happily ever after.